What's up, Wolfpack fam? It's your boy Kid back at it again. It has been a long journey, but we have finally made it to the grand final. Definitely excited for this one, as I always am. But we don't know how these things are going to pan out as far as making it on the channel, what's going to be blocked, blah, 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 all that stuff. So it's become a little bit of a headache these past couple of episodes trying to figure these things out. We just have to go with the flow of it, but I'll be lying to you if you say this is an annoying process, give me a headache, yada, yada, yada. But hopefully it's going to work on the channel. Again, right now it seems there's a common denominator that certain bots they don't like on the channel right now. Hypnos and chaos and, so I don't know what's going to happen. So hopefully it's going to work on the channel. Not, just check out pinned comment, description section, all that stuff. And without further ado, we're going to hopefully have some fun and watch this grand final. This has been a lot of episodes leading up into this point. We got some of the best robots, so we here for some damn destruction. Hopefully that'll get my mind off all the crappy parts, things that's been happening, with the upload process. But yeah, so I need this probably more than many of you guys need it. So I needed to boost my spirits. So with that being said, let's get it. Let's check out this episode and let's hopefully have a good time. Let's do it.
Gentlemen, please welcome the man whose birth was so difficult, it was nicknamed the Big Push, Craig Charles.
It's been a long time coming, but rev yourselves up for the biggest display of total destruction ever. The grand final of the Fourth Wars. Yes, folks, this is what 16 heats and 2 semi-finals have all been about. Forget it's taking part that counts. It was taking your opponent apart that mattered. Yeah. And boy, does some robots do just that. Later on, we'll be honouring some of those amazing robots and roboteers who've made this the most spectacular Robot Wars so far. But now, if you missed any of the carnage of the past few months, then first, expect Sir Kill-A-Lot around to your house to give you a brain transplant. And second, you'd better relive the road to Armageddon.
Over 1,000 teams applied to take part in the Fourth Wars. Only 96 were chosen to do battle in the infamous Robot Wars arena. 32 of them seeded on past performance, innovation and design creativity. That's just under 300 competitors involved in the titanic struggle to become the victors. We've seen 5 months of carnage, destruction and metal mayhem. And now we're only moments away from the grand final. Only one can win. Only one will raise that coveted trophy and proclaim to the world they are the Robot Wars Grand Champions.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the story so far. Heat 1 saw the welcome return of reigning champions, the impressive Chaos 2, who stormed back into the arena and were quick to send Indefatigable out. Newcomers to the Wars, Medusa 2000, were tossed and turned and ended up in the pit. And Atomic managed to secure the same fate for King V3, with a little help from Sir Kill-A-Lot. And in the Heat final, Atomic felt the full wrath of Chaos 2, who started to show the sort of form which took them to the title in the Third Wars, and they claimed the first place in the series semi-finals this time around. In the second heat, Pussycat seed number 19 sunk Kitty Claws into Reptiron. They left the arena in a blaze of glory. So did Millie Anberg after its brush with Razor, the current world champions. Robo Chicken was no match for the cat either, and Razor did look promising in the Heat final until they got stuck in forward gear and Pussycat got stuck in for some serious damage. The Razor team weren't happy that engineering faults had let them down for a second successive wars. The cat still had 9 lives. Heat 3 saw the 5th seed Firestorm 2 back with more power and manoeuvrability than ever before. They quickly dispatched the Morgue, while old favourite Steertor lasted a mere few moments at the hands of Ming 2 before their dreams of making the semis went up in smoke. Again, problems for the Irish boys. Dublin by the minute. The Morgue got a lucky break. They were reinstated after Scar had to retire. In the Heat final, they met Firestorm 2 again. They thought they'd beaten them when Firestorm fizzled out into the pit. But this excitement changed to despair as after closer inspection, the judges ruled that the Morgue had gone into the pit first and Firestorm 2 got the judges' vote.
So they've given it to Firestorm!
Steg 2 returned for Heat 4 and soon showed Kronos a few lessons they'd learned from Chaos 2 about weaponry. 23rd seed Mortis was quick to conquer Mazakari, and Steg 2 showed no fear with iron ore pneumatic flipper weapons now becoming a major feature of this series. In the heat final, Mortis were flipped, and a fault with their self-righting mechanism meant they bombed out of the competition once more, always bridesmaids, never the brides. In Heat 5, ground control all went wrong for Major Tom after it decided to disco the Dance of Doom with Matilda and then soft shoe shuffle with Shunt. David Crosby and the girls from Dartford Girls Grammar School returned to the Fourth Wars with Son of Napalm, but they fell foul to the awesome Dominator too early on and ended up in the pit of oblivion. Oh, see me after class, Teacher David! Dominator then dominated the fight against 101, whose lack of weaponry proved telling. Dominator, who'd only previously competed in pinball and not the main battles, took the eye of the judges.
The decision is unanimous, and the winners are Dominator 2!
Remember
The
that.
Sick Pete brought double trouble in the guise of Gemini, the first ever clusterbot seen on Robot Wars. Along with Tornado, they were quick to get rid of Caterkiller and then crush the creature's hopes. A
Very
slow
cool.
step, some rock and roll, and then instead of softening the blow, the old heave-ho. But Tornado proved the strong silent type as it rammed one half of Gemini onto an arena spike. Both halves had to be mobile to survive. Gemini's speed controller blew, and Tornado breezed through.
Still cool bot.
In Heat 7, it was a bright start, but then a gruesome tango for Gravedigger with Sir Killalot. It saw the end of their challenge, they dug their own grave. And Thermidor 2 soon got its claws into Dreadnought XP1, the Dreadnought sunk. Thermidor then went on to make light work of Chronic the Wedgehog, who curled up into a ball, rolled down into a pit, and went to eternal hibernation. Wedgehog team, be a little bit more spiky next time. Heat 8 was about revenge, we were told. Wheelie Big Cheese had a grudge to bear against Sir Killalot, but the Master of Mayhem wasn't in a playful mood with anyone. Newcomers Maverick rolled over to get its tummy tickled by suicidal tendencies and Charlie Pins. And Killatron saw its hopes disappear into thin air with the thin end of the cheese wedge. Wheelosaurus caught fire, but then were extinguished. And then controversy returned to the arena in the Heat final, when even though Wheelie Big Cheese went into the pit first, the judges ruled differently.
The judge says that Suicidal Tendencies track wasn't working for a long time during that fight, so you didn't have control. So the judges have gone for Wheelie Big Cheese!
The Tate family, Centurion, didn't stick around for long in Heat 9. He went roaming into an arm wrestle with House Robot Sir Killalot and got the thumbs down from our
Come
Colosseum Caesars. Benny, Vidi, Wobbly, it came, it saw, and that's the rest. A splinter movement then proved too strong for Kilohertz, all hot, bothered and steamed up. Eric then made light work of Small Talk with the use of its unique spatula tongue. And in the Heat final, tried to escape the clutches of Splinter, but to no avail. A hug, a kiss, a battle not to miss. Splinter went through. Heat 10 and Bulldog Breed gave the best of British to Spikeosaurus and managed to dodge the impressive Stinger too.
Dark horse right there.
Next up, Bigger Brother, but a broken gas valve meant they couldn't self-right, and little Joe Watts could only look on in dismay. Stinger bludgeoned Hammer and Tong into submission in an all-Lincolnshire battle. Stinger fast emerging as major but surprise contenders, Hammer and Tong. Bing Bong. And
Bing
then
bong.
in the Heat final, Stinger met Bulldog Breed again. The Stinger stung. The doggy was left with the tail between his legs. The pendulum mace of Stinger had been too powerful. This robot was proving hard to tag. In Heat 11, no sooner had Evil Weevil and previous winner Kevin Pritchard entered the arena than it was out again on our Evil Ejector. Something along with Shunt gave 28th seed Weldor's hopes the axe. And another self-proclaimed Emperor Tiberius went in against Little Fly, but like the moth flew in ever-decreasing circles and ended up in the pit of oblivion. Something grounded themselves and their winning streak on their own chassis, and the Mousetrap snapped up victory just against Little Fly thanks to a judge's decision.
And they've gone for Mousetrap!
With a little help from the team at RAF Odium, Plunderbird 4 arrived in style for Heat 12. Great entertainers and sports, they hyped the hype. They talked a good fight, but as usual, Mike and Brian's bark, I'm afraid, was louder than their bite.
They tried.
They had a brief taste of victory. The Plunderbird boys had come a long way, baby, when Fat Boy Tin got one in the eye. But Nightmare made their worst dreams come true. They were flipped up, over and out of the competition. As the Nightmare spun around in our thoughts and in its deeds. The words, of course, came from Plunderbird. They didn't go quietly.
How well are you going to do? How are you going to beat everyone up? You're not making so much noise now, are you?
Well, it's a slight mechanical malfunction, but actually before we leave you for this war, we'd actually like to make some noise of our own. Right, listen you lot, follow me. Shout out loud, make lots of noise.
Shout out loud, make lots of noise.
There's damage to be done by the Plunderbird boys.
There's damage to be done by the Plunderbird boys.
Gonna stamp on you, gonna hit you hard.
Gonna stamp on you, gonna hit you hard.
Gonna send your robot to the breaker's yard.
Gonna send your robot to the breaker's yard.
What's the word? Plunderbird!
The heat finals saw the Essex boys and Spawn of Scudder put Nightmare to bed with a 120-mile-an-hour spike. Who needs a Sreemac? Well, they did. Not to be outdone
Hatchy
by
boys.
Plunderbird, Sir Chromalot arrived in style in Heat 13, and this time they brought along a few supporters.
Who's going to win?
Oh, yeah, I remember that team.
Oh yes, the class act had certainly returned. But sadly, the wheels came off their challenge early thanks to the Steel Avenger. Steve Merrill and Dave Whitehead had looked the tops, but they were top heavy. Wild Thing looked fearsome against Reactor, quickly getting to the core of the problem and avoiding any fallout. Then driving skill and determination won the day against the Steel Avenger. Wild Thing were through for the Addams family. The sixth-seeded Behemoth returned in Heat 14. They rolled Arnold Terminator and Rambot around the ring while the evil Ejector made light work of the ponderous 160-kilo Millennium Bug. Exterminator 2's new Sreemac helped them to victory against Behemoth, but it was very, very close and it went to the judges. The penultimate heat saw Series 2 champions Panic Attack say clearly over and out to Overkill GTI and then raise a few issues with Sawpoint.
Bye.
Meanwhile, Smithy was having fun showing Agrabot the sights. Hither and thither, the aggro started to wither, and Sir Killalot said, bye-bye bot. Smithy, though, proved no match for the driving skill of Kim Davis in the heat final. And Panic Attack was through to the semis once again. And in our last heat, Hypnodisc returned and took no time in reminding us why they've been dubbed the most destructive robot ever. We saw the insides of the Predator. And then late entrants VMAX probably wish they hadn't come at all. The boys from Hampshire looked as if they had a strong stomach for battle. We soon saw what they'd had for lunch, though. And finally, veterans Razorblade felt the full fury of Hypnodisc. The family rose had bloomed again. So, 16 robots are through to our semi-finals. In our first, 8 robotic gods lined up to win the coveted place in the grand final. Chaos 2 soon got rid of Stake 2, and Wheelie Big Cheese looked promising against Tornado until a weak titanium weld gave way and the wheels dropped off their challenge. Pussycat struggled at first against Thermidor 2, but the lobster ran out of steam, and the cat got the cream. Dominator 2 perforated Firestorm 2 and at that stage looked set to go through. Confident and powerful, but they hadn't reckoned on our 2 favourites. The reigning champions, Chaos 2, performing its party trick once more. And Pussycat and that awesome blade disrobing Dominator 2. And the cat went through to the grand final. Semi-final 2, and Stinger soon took the spring out of the mousetrap step. Immobilized, the trap was now set by the house robots, and Sir Killalot's mercy killing meant 1 down, 5 to go. Panic Attack soon sent Spawn scuttering back to Essex. Kim Davis and his former champions were highly fancied by now. And Hypnodisc turned the hopes of a very gallant Splinter into sawdust.
Oh,
Excellent driving skills from Nick Adams saw Wild Thing terminate. Exterminator 2. The boast from the pits. We'll be back, yeah? We'll be waiting. Then, one of the biggest surprises we've ever had. A thrilling battle. Panic Attack had the experience and fought weapons, but Stinger's innovative design meant it was hard to hit, and the judges by 1 point ruled it was the more aggressive.
They've gone for Stinger!
Then, Wild Thing stood up well to Hypno Disc's destruction, but there could only be one winner.
Based on the awesome destructive power of Hypnodisc, they've gone for Hypnodisc!
oh, jeez. Are we getting to the fights yet?
Pussycat,
Not yet.
Hypnodisc, Stinger, and the reigning champs, Chaos 2.
The walls will work like this. Our
Thank you.
4 remaining robots will be paired off for 2 initial knockout fights. A third and final battle at the end of the show will then decide who's going to be crowned Robot Wars champion. Let's see who's bashing who.
What I'm waiting for,
Craig,
man.
they're all seeds. The top seed's Chaos 2 meets Stinger. The second seed's Hypnodisc up against Pussycat. Now that's some tussle, I can tell you, Jules.
The Pussycat team is
Real
seeded.
quick, I feel like that's set up so you can have a heavyweight bout right here. I'm going to give my prediction. I'd like to see Chaos 2 and Hypnodisc. That's the 2 I would like to see.
19th. It's phenomenal that they've got to where they are, but you need to go into that arena in a minute and do more damage. We've got the scalps here, everyone they've taken out, apart from Dominator. Now, I want to talk tactics, because you've drawn up against Hypnodisc, and my God, I wouldn't like to be you.
This is the moment of truth,
It is, isn't it?
and we're going to cream him.
Okay.
Still
Cream 'em.
confident as ever.
We're
We
go-
love this man's enthusiasm.
We're going to kill him.
Of course you are.
And if we don't, we'll go out fighting.
The Rose family, seeded number 2, but we think you are the favourites. I mean, these guys designed destruction. It's been awesome. You are 2 fights away from becoming the Robot Wars champion. How are you feeling?
Very excited and at the same time very, very nervous.
Who's driving?
I'm the driver.
Ooh, it's all on your shoulders, really, isn't it?
Yeah, you see the sort of black everything else out. Once the 3, 2, 1 activates, all you're doing is concentrating on your robot and your opponent.
Let's hope so. Good luck. You
Thank
deserve it.
Cheers.
She's pulling for
Now,
them.
folks, this is what we've been waiting for. May the best robot win, and may there be some cataclysmic carnage on the way.
Yeah.
Let the final wars begin!
Woo! Let's go. Please.
From
No.
Banbury and seeded number 2, Hypnodisc.
Will the aluminium and mild steel shell survive the blade of Pussycat? Will the 750 RPM spinning disc send Kitty into itty-bitty pieces? Has a
on.
3-mech and 20-mile-an-hour top speeds.
From Gloucester, seed number 19, Pussycat.
They believe that circular blade generated by a 24 brake horsepower motor can cause real damage. Don't forget they've beaten Razor, and the aluminium and polycarbonate design will stay firm, says David Gribble. I won't quibble.
Roboteers.
I'd like to see that front part of Pussycat break from Hypnodisc. That's what I'd like to see right now.
Stand by.
Hypnodisc with Dad Ken and the twins Dave and Derek. Spin to win, that's our motto, says Ken.
In the win.
Pussycat, Alan Gribble, there on the right, son David at controls, Robin Herrick. Enormously powerful blade of Hypnodisc, and it's stopped working. The blade has been immobilized. There is no weaponry. There is little movement for Hypnodisc. One wheel on your wagon. Around in ever-decreasing circles, I'm afraid. For Hypnodisc, what a surprise this is! Killalot has come in, and Killalot and the House Robots have long awaited this moment. There are a few scores to settle for Hypnodisc. They've been brilliant competitors, I think, the Rose family. Great sports throughout, but they're out of it. Well, that's a typical sporting gesture from the Rose family. Alan.
I ain't gonna lie. I have to pause it here for this shit. Holy shit. Congrats to Pussycat for that great hit there. But god damn, that's it? Now that this match is horrible, man. It's boring now. So, good shit to Pussycat Doll. You can see by my expression, Not pleased with the results, of course, but you know what? They got it. But boy, man, just one little hit and that's it. That's all she wrote. You know what I mean? So boring for an eliminator right there. But obviously, Pussycat ain't feeling that way. You know what I mean?
Gribble, Robin Herrick and David Gribble are through. Do not quibble with the Gribbles.
Cease.
Well, she wrote, man.
Well, would you believe it? Hypnodisc is in the pits. Pussycat roars again. Pussycat go through.
Good job. Ay.
Well done.
What happened there, guys?
I don't know. We had a bit of a trouble with the drive. I think it was on the left-hand side, and we just were in circles, so we were dead meat. And they sorted us out.
It happened really quickly. It went straight away, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was maybe that first time they hit us, or the second time something's come loose, and that was it.
And then you're in the CPZ with Shunt, and
yeah.
I think he's wrecked your disc, hasn't he?
Yeah, there's no mercy from him either, so...
Merciless Shunt. You seem to take it in good spirits. You were everybody's favourite.
Well, that's what happens.
That's what... All is fair in love and robot wars.
Yeah.
Win and lose.
Great fun. We've enjoyed it.
And you'll come back again, won't you?
Yep, we will do.
You certainly will. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Hypnodisc! Unlucky guys. Yeah!
Good job, Pussycat.
Can you believe it? No! What were you feeling going into that battle?
We were terrified.
I can't believe you've done it. I mean, it was the odds-on favourite.
I know. Like Rob, our other weapons man, he said that the blade will bend before it breaks, and he's right.
So, you're through? We're through. If you can take out Hypnodisc, you can take out anyone.
And we're going to.
And you're going to. That's what I like.
We are.
More confidence. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Pussycats!
Good job.
The Rose family.
Oh, well.
Come on, guys. Come on.
In a bin.
We needed to see that. You designed destruction, but how do you handle defeat?
As well as a victory, I think. It would have been nice to win, but we've had a great time. We've dished out more damage than what we received, so we're still in credit. It was great.
But what an awesome robot that Pussycat is.
Yeah, it was, yeah. It got us on the back end. I think that caused us a little bit of damage. Caused a bit difficult in steering.
Let's have a look. Can we see the damage?
Just a little nick in the back wheel there.
That's what it took.
That's what it took, yeah.
tiny
Jammed
little
up the
nick.
rear wheel and we were just going around in circles from then on. A little bit too close to Shunt. Finishing the disc, stop the disc, we were...
Popped you right through the
Weapons.
head.
Good hit.
Can't wait to see you back for more destruction in the next wars.
Yeah, we'll be back.
And get it together for the playoffs.
Yep.
Are you going to be functioning in the playoffs?
Might be.
David! Oh, I've got to give you a hug. That was the most thing ever. Well done. Nothing can stop you now. Team! Oh. What have you got to say for yourself?
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
We can't still. Unbelievable. We took out his rear drive, but we bent our blade. Would you believe we bent our lovely blade?
We need that blade.
We've got another.
We got another.
We had our blade spinning, and they had their blade spinning. The two met, and there was a big bang, and
I heard that.
something went wrong with us. But
You are through. One more fight, team. One more fight. I'm going to take you to the pits right now, and I'm going to help you work on that robot. Let's go.
All right.
What a stunner. Pussycat through, Hypnodisc eliminated. Next up, Chaos 2, the reigning champions against Stinger. Will we have another surprise? What on earth happened to those Hypnodisc boys?
A new sound effect there. I didn't know. It didn't even sound like it was coming from this thing here.
Team, talk me through the damage.
Well, what happened when we were in Shunt's PPZ, his axe went into the disc about here, and the speed of disc actually brought his axe into the robot and damaged the gearbox and the rest of the drivetrain back into the machine.
So you sort of destroyed yourselves, really.
In a way, yeah.
And are you going to be ready for the playoff?
I don't think so. There's about 2 days repairs to do there, so we're not going to manage it.
So it's 4th place. That's still an amazing achievement.
Yeah, we're very happy with that.
Good. One thing we've got to do, though.
In the bin.
The Stinger team looking pensive. You've had a wonderful history. We've seen the battles that got you here. What do you think is your strength?
well,
Why are you here?
It's a really strong robot, and nobody seems to be able to touch it, and we got a weapon that hits.
It does too, doesn't it? Now you're seeded number 30. You've done incredibly well to get here, but now you're up against the number 1 seed. That's got to be pretty nerve-wracking.
Well, he's only got a flipper.
He says that now, doesn't he? He's only got a flipper. He says it now.
No?
So what will your tactic be?
We're going to drive straight up, over the flipper, sit on top, and thump it in the back.
Excellent.
Yeah. Before he gets thrown out of the arena.
Exactly, that's the key thing with Chaos 2, isn't it? And you had some fighting talk you'd like to deliver?
Yeah, it's death or glory time. No surrender, no retreat. We're going for it.
Yes, let's get him in the arena.
Nice
The
words.
Chaos 2 team, the reigning Robot Wars champions. You're here again.
We are.
How does it feel?
Brilliant, great fun.
Yeah?
Having a terrific time.
You never get nervous though, do you?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Have you faced a robot like this before?
Yeah, not quite like this, no. No, this will go both ways up. It's got a very nasty weapon that swings around quite quickly.
It's difficult.
It's
And if you're going to
difficult.
toss it out of the arena like you've done, how many times in this wars?
Twice and hit the camera with another one.
This was gonna be tough, guys. I want to go with Chaos too, but anything can happen, right? Anything can happen.
From Lincoln, seed number 30, Stinger.
Because of 18 miles an hour top speeds, no one can tag these underdogs. The thumping on the back will come from the pendulum-like swinging axe. Can Chaos 2 penetrate those motors mounted in the wheels?
I want a good fight. Good
Seed
fight,
number
please,
1 and
please.
reigning champion, Chaos 2.
Would you believe the champ spent just £250 to build this? Lawnmower motors provide the drive, liquid CO2 from a fire extinguisher provides the power behind the most effective flipper we've seen in these wars.
Roboteers, stand by.
There's the Stinger from Lincoln.
Good fight, please,
Tin Man
please.
there on the left had the boast of victory. Lyle Skinner and Kevin Scott, his teammates, Chaos 2. With George Francis ever ready at the controls, Ian and Richard Swan. With Richard just 9 years of age. Facing the grand final against Pussycat. Chaos 2 lining up the flipper immediately to get in underneath the back axle.
Good hit, good
Stinger
hit.
with that won't worry Stinger. Can bounce, spin and come down. Look at the bounce of those customised motorbike wheels. Little damage. You have to get Stinger towards the arena wall, Chaos 2, and get him out of the arena. And also dodge that swinging pendulum axe type mace. Bang and crash. Bash. There's George Francis at the controls of Chaos 2. Little Richard from Castleville Junior School alongside him. And another attack on Stinger. The flipper rises, settles into its mounting. Chaos 2 hops and skips. A little bit of a jump, turns. Stinger also spins. Oh, and there's the power of the weapon. Did you see crashing on the side there of Chaos 2? At the moment, though, polycarbonate and aluminium strong enough, but they've got into a CPZ. That's tough.
Good.
And I think they might have sustained damage. Have a look at this again. As they go into Stinger here, look, the back plate comes off. That's what Kevin Scott said he'd do. Knock the back plate off, and George Francis now knows that the very innards of Chaos 2 are vulnerable and exposed. They went into the CPZ, which wasn't good control, and also they've left themselves now vulnerable to attack. Surely not another major surprise here. Are both the favourites, the seeds, to crash out? Chaos 2 has a lot of work to do, because if this goes to the judges, they will mark on damage, style, control and aggression, and Stinger, very aggressive. Of course the damage. Chaos 2 needs to get in under. Another couple of flips. Again, I wonder how many machines in future wars will copycat the design of Stinger. Chaos 2 has bashed it into the CPZ, and now Dead Metal momentarily had Stinger in its claws. Away goes Stinger. Look at this. This is a good drive here by Chaos 2. Digging in deep. Stinger flicked up into the CPZ. Dead Metal had control. Chaos 2 tried to roll them both out of the arena. And Stinger dug deep with the mace itself. Lives to fight again. Spin Stinger. This is going to be close. I just wonder whether that damage you can see there could be telling as it goes to the judges to decide who.
This one was a good bout. I feel like Stinger won this one, man. I honestly feel like he hit him more times. Controversy or just Stinger just too hard to hit, man?
It's Pussycat in the grand final of Robot Wars.
Well. What a fantastic battle. Of course, it's going to go to our judges. I wouldn't want to make the decision.
Very tight, wasn't it, Craig? We don't have to make the decision. These boffins do. I can't call it. Chaos 2 starting strongly. Aggressive. Point score. But then sustaining damage there. Stinger suddenly on top. Only for Chaos 2 to finish the stronger. This is very, very close.
You've never had a judge's decision before with your robot, have you?
Very nerve-wracking.
It is nerve-wracking, isn't it? Very tense,
Nervous
sweaty
for them.
palms. You nervous? The judges went with aggression, both you equal. Style, both you equal. Damage, both you equal.
Really?
On quality of control, the judges have gone for Chaos 2!
Whoa!
Guys, what a valiant effort.
It was a tough call.
It was a tough call. The judges took ages making up their minds. But you've done it ever so well. You got so far. Your robot, I thought, was virtually unbeatable unless you could get it out of the ring. And that's what Chaos 2 was trying to do, but it couldn't achieve it. And you're quite tenacious.
We wiggled, we struggled.
You're a slippery set of customers. Have you enjoyed it?
Oh, it's been fantastic.
You're not too disappointed?
We did it for all the roboteers, all the engineers, all the modelers in Lincoln. Lincoln!
There you go. Big up the Lincoln posse. Well, you're not going to get to face Pussycat in the final, but you've done very well getting this far. For the Stinger posse!
I feel gutted for them, man. I feel bad for them. Again, you're going to have a winners and a loser, you know. Damn, you still feel bad, man.
Oh.
Close. Don't get much closer than that.
In the 2 wars you've had, you've never had a judge's decision before. That's how sort of awesome your robot's been. But that one was down to the wire, wasn't it?
We made our match there, yeah.
What about Pussycat then?
It's going to be another close one. It really is.
It's a big robot. It's got a really vicious blade on it as well.
Yeah. Again, it works both ways up.
What do you think, young man?
I didn't really expect us to come this far.
You didn't really expect to come this far this time?
No. We've
Well,
got
as
there.
I said, no champion's ever retained his championship. You're 1 fight away from Robo Glory. Let's hear it for Chaos 2!
Oh, well.
Tears in the gears.
Yeah, well, it had to happen sooner or later, didn't it?
Now, what was going through your mind when you were waiting for that judge's decision?
It was so close. You couldn't imagine which way it was going to go. We thought we'd win on damage because that back plate came off.
And you planned to do that, didn't you?
We did. That was the plan. Yeah, get over the back of him, smash his back plate
So
off.
that was good control. What do you think went against you in the judges' minds?
Control, as they said.
Just a little bit more practice on the driving. He's been doing it for a couple of years, and we've been doing it for 1.
You've done incredibly well. You've secured 3rd place for yourselves because Hypnodisc aren't here for the playoffs. I mean, it's such an achievement. How do you feel after all that work?
Absolutely on a high.
Yeah.
We're well above cloud 10 and still going.
Yes! And you'll be back for more, we hope.
You bet we will.
I must say, it's lovely to see this team doing some work.
Yeah, we got a bit of a dusting that time.
You know you've got 1st or 2nd place. Would you be unhappy with 2nd?
No, we've had a great time. It's terrific, but I really want the top.
I think he said he wanted the top. They took some good damage.
George, no roboteer has ever successfully defended the title. You have a chance. Stinger out, so Chaos 2, the reigning champions, through to our grand final. They will meet the underdogs Pussycat, and this for the title. 4th Wars Grand Champions.
Is it wrong of me that I want to see a 2-time champ like back-to-back or not, guys? Let me know. Who were you rooting for when this one happened? I got a lot of thoughts right now.
But before we return to the arena for the grand final, there's just time to commend all our roboteers for their hard work, innovation and creativity. Because the 4th Wars has been the best yet. All the robots have stood their ground and fought to their last drop of oil. We've seen a wide variety of design, weaponry and destruction. And in recognition of our team's achievements, we've our special Merit Robot Wars trophies.
What more could you possibly want?
He's in heaven.
First up, the Sportsmanship Award, given in honour of the behind-the-scenes generosity of spirit and effort which makes Robot Wars the fun it is, the taking part and not the winning. The nominations: Sir Chromalot with Steve Merrill and Dave Whitehead, great fun with the Pom-Pom Girls. Superb entertainers, not very good in the arena. Cease.
Well, I gave it to Plunderberg.
Back again, Duotor, Kieran Byrne and Peter Redmond, the boys from Dublin. Again, they didn't go too far in battle, but behind the scenes, they helped everyone else out. A spot of welding from Kieran, bit of electronics from Peter. And Plunderbird 4. Mike and Brian pulled out all the stops, arriving in style in the Chinook. They didn't go very far in battle. The winners, Tour for the 3rd year running, the original Good Samaritans behind the scenes.
Repeat.
The most original entry award to go to a robot created with a unique, fun and destructive design in mind. The nominations: Robo Chicken, not really destructive, but great fun. I'm afraid to say they didn't get a great deal of luck in the arena.
Gemini for me.
Gemini, a clusterbot, the first ever. Brilliant design, a feat of engineering skill, double trouble, a twin set, and Pearl for the future. Something. All built from second-hand parts, a new age roboteer striving to compete against the super electronic forces of the future. And Pussycat, like a cat on a hot tin roof, always lands on its feet. A destructive blade. We didn't quite see its full potential, I feel. Maybe next time.
They're very good, though.
The winner, the brilliantly original Gemini, has that set a trend for the future. The Best Design Robot Award. This takes into consideration the weaponry, the machinery, the hardware, the big picture. And the nominations: Pussycat, second nomination for Alan Gribble and driver son David. Maneuverability and mashability married here. It can destroy at speed.
Either that one or Gemini.
Next up, The Creature. Saw them in the 3rd Wars with Tun Turin. Better design with a flipper and greater maneuverability, if not too much speed. Lovely artwork too. Thermidor 2, semi-finalists with a pneumatic flipper which could lift 100 kilos or more, electronic claws. They'd learned a lot from mistakes in previous wars. And Gemini once again, 2 pneumatic flippers, each half independently controlled. You'd have to be a genius or schizo to come up with this design.
Really like that one.
And we say genius, a second award for Gemini, deservedly so. The Best Engineered Robot. Only 3 nominations. No one came close for pure engineering refinement. For the bits in the box you never see the inside. It's Chaos 2 nominated. Reigning champions George Francis, an electronic engineer himself. No changes to the machine. Through to the final once more. Says a lot about its power. Steel Avenger, John Willoughby and his team, veterans of the wars, constantly improving the robot. This year came with an axe, with a self-righting mechanism. Oh, and a duster to clear up the mess.
That made me laugh.
And Stinger, Kevin Scott and the boys from Lincoln with this ingenious design, all the electronics held inside 2 impregnable wheel hubs. And the winner, Steel Avenger and John Willoughby, his first award, long awaited. The Best Newcomer Award for those Robot Wars fans who watched previously, learnt and then entered a machine themselves this time, like Robo Chicken, plucky, brave, fun design, but it had an axe and a flipper too. This was no featherweight, but chickens don't survive when a cat's
Maybe
in the
Tornado.
roast.
Or Mousetrap. Maybe Tornado.
Tornado. Semi-finalists souped up their motors to 36 volts, giving extraordinary speed and power. They beat Gemini. This nomination is well-deserved then. A Tillida drum, a mace-like weapon, a manic spinning motion, a whirling dervish, but perhaps better control next time around. And Mousetrap snapped up this nomination for originality of design of that deadly weapon, ensuring it was Gorgon's over for the unwary opponent. But the winner, mainly because of that victory over Gemini, Tornado!
Awa.
And just time to mention our other 2 arena events running in parallel to the big heavyweight competition, the Sumo Basho. Panic Attack, the only robot to survive. You had to stay on the Basho floor longer than Shunt. And Kim Davis managed it with Panic Attack. Well done. And the Pinball Warrior Tournament, Gemini, a staggering 255 points amassed around the arena floor. Hit the objects and the targets, dodged the house robots. They came late on in the event, Gemini, with a wonderful run to take the title of Pinball Warrior Champions. Gemini.
Yes. This is it. After 16 heats, 2 semi-finals and more than a little heartache, just 2 robotic gods remain to do battle. And in the end, only the fiercest will be crowned Robot Wars Grand Champion. Let the final war begin!
Let's go! Please be a long back. Pussycat, like it was just going one way there.
George Francis, has he won it? Or has it gone to the Pussycat Boys? Up in their control pod. Robin Herrick there in the middle. Alan and David Gribble, unaware of their fate. It's gone to the judges.
Either way.
What a fantastic battle. Worthy of a Robot Wars Grand Final. Let's have a look at some of the highlights.
After so many battles, it comes to this. Chaos 2 on the offensive, tossing Pussycat around the arena floor. But then Pussycat came back and caused superficial damage to Chaos 2 before finally having its blade immobilized. The title, it comes down to this.
Judges have scored this on style, control, damage, and aggression. Chaos 2 have won on all points. Chaos 2 are the Robot Wars Grand Champion!
Back to back. Holy shit.
Guys, you've done tremendously well. Tremendously well. You made it to the finals of Robot Wars.
I'm happy with that.
You're happy with that?
Yeah.
And you're going to come back next time?
We'll be back next time.
You're going to try and go one better, aren't you?
They'll be ours.
Let's hear for the Pussycat Posse!
Good final, though.
All it needs now is for Jules to present the award. Our Robot Wars Grand Finalists, Chaos 2!
Wow.
Well, start the fires!
Clear the applause!
We found ourselves a winner on Robot Wars! Bye-bye!
Oh, jeez. Wowee. Hold on, boys and girls. Yeah, it don't look like there's going to be anything else, guys. So we need this list here. Even though we pretty much know it's the list, but this makes my life easier. All right, here it goes. Like that.
Up again.
All right, boys and girls, thank you for making it, watching alongside me for the grand final. Now, if Hypnodisc and Pussycat would have been the final match, like the final match, and it would have ended the way it ended like that, I completely would have been, without a shadow of a doubt, excuse my language, freaking ticked off. Not because of the end result of it being that it was just so damn quick. You know what I mean? Like, that is nothing I would ever want to see in a final bout. Like hands down, that is nothing ever that I would like to see it kind of on a bout for a robot to go out that quickly. That just has that much potential. Like, if they would have fought to their heart, and down the wire, and then it's, split decision or whatever, I could live with that. But damn, man, I was gutted. I was feeling sad, pissed off, you name it. Just mix up all those bag of emotions for that first bout. That was a letdown. Now, obviously, Pussycat won. Well deserved. They hit it so good that it was one time, and that was plenty. So, kudos to them. Good job on their thing. But yeah, I never ever want a bout like that quick. That just, even if Hypnodisc would have killed it like in 2 seconds, I wouldn't have wanted that. If these are the best 4 robots, which clearly they were, to make it this far, you don't want it to end that quickly. So, am I happy with Chaos 2 winning? Yeah, I think it definitely was much closer. They've been tested more on this final than they have, up until where we were at right now. So, previous bouts that they did, they haven't been tested to this level where parts are coming out in the back. So it's going to be interesting for me if Francis is going to go with that same motto. If it's not broke, kind of don't fix it thing. I think it's time for it to tweak something, whether it makes its armor in the back stronger, has some other sort of weaponry besides the flipper in the front, maybe something they can do to the back, so they can have some sort of weapon. Now, two dark horses or two sleeper bots for me that, I slept on, and I'll be the first to say it, has been Pussycat and Stinger. I've countlessly underestimated them. I still underestimate them, but they could probably steal a Hypno Disc thing spin to win, because they were spinning and winning, and they were doing some freaking damage there. So, and every time we see Stinger, we think of Twisted Metal Axel. Just for those two things, I can't help but think about Axel from Twisted Metal series. Great series we grew up playing on the PlayStation days. I miss those days. So, Pussycat, Stinger, I definitely highly underestimated them. All these teams should, keep their head up. They've done really good, and we've definitely come a long way. There's been a ton of robots that have competed, some silly ones, some really good ones. So I'm really anxious to see going forward if Chaos 2, number one, changes their thing, because it was a lot more close for comfort for them, that you had to put some work in there. That I could not imagine how tense, how nerve-wracking, how how they feel in that, especially in the final or grand final, eliminator match there. The amount of, I would be shitting bricks, like I would be sweating, I'm gonna be like really feeling hot. So all these teams did a good job at the end of the day. We hope to see a lot of these teams back. Of course, I want to see more revisions, improvement as technology gets better. And if they've come a long way, I will say this, the Gemini robot, hands down, one of the coolest looking robots that we have seen so far. I really like that design. That definitely, it was built for the pinball, but it was really fun to watch and, to split up and do its own thing and have the flippers. So really cool robot. That's one we like to see. These are just our thoughts. Guys don't have to fill it in. We will watch as best we can to see for ourselves whether they come back. So don't have to tell me. These are just my thoughts, what I'm thinking about, my process, what I'd like to see. I'm feeling good after the episode. If both those bouts would have ended quickly, like both eliminators, I would be like really ticked off. So luckily it was only one robot. I definitely think that the Stinger bout with the Chaos was very exciting to see. When it's spinning and it's hitting, you don't feel like it's doing damage, but when when Julie showed the robot and you see KO, that guy took an ass whooping. So pretty darn impressive robot. Pussycat with its front spear. Between Stinger and Pussycat having these kind of unorthodox or different robots that can land differently and spin a little bit, I do kind of think that it is a pretty groovy robot. Both those robots. So all in all, definitely enjoyed it. Had a good time watching it. We'll do our best. Again, we don't know what the hell is going to be happening as far as these things going on the channel these days. So it's up in the air. There's no answer other than to upload it and see for myself what happens and stuff like that. So we don't have an answer. We don't know if things work on the channel or it's going to have to go to Daily Motion. Obviously, we're going to try to upload it on YouTube. I do not want to have to upload it somewhere else. That's extra work. And quite frankly, I'm freaking lazy, so I don't want to upload to second place. But we'll see what happens when this thing goes up. So I'm nervous. I'm excited to see more. Yes, we will see more. We'll do our best to see more, all that good stuff. So if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments down below. You enjoyed it, hit that like, comment. If you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, hit that notification bell, turn on that subscription button, whatever, click that damn button, slam that shit, whatever you guys got to do. But I do hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you guys next time for hopefully another Robot Wars extravaganza. We'll continue what we can continue. So see you soon. Peace.